Dude, this is a light blue t-shirt, and apparently it's close enough to green. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the Champions League quarter-final first leg predictions. Only 8 teams remain. We had a pretty good time of it last time round in the round of 16. We correctly predicted Chelsea to beat Lille 2-1 away from home. And we correctly predicted Atletico Madrid to beat Manchester United 1-0 away from home. And that video did get more dislikes than usual because I predicted Man United to lose. But sometimes you just have to predict Manchester United to lose. So please do drop a like on this video. Subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos. We've got Europa League coming up soon, then Premier League, and we're then doing it all over again next week. To kick us off, we do have Benfica up against Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, they just got a 2-0 win against Watford at the weekend, and I mean, it was a decent performance. They did what they had to do. They won both halves, actually, like I predicted with my tip in the previous video, which I thought was very, very cool. I think they're going to breeze past Benfica across the 2 legs, but obviously Benfica will know if they're going to cause Liverpool any problems in this tie, it's going to have to be in the home leg, the first leg, because at Anfield, it's a difficult place to go. However, I do think Liverpool are a cut above Benfica. So I think Benfica will score. We can't forget that they did beat, albeit a slightly woeful Barcelona 3-0 in the group stage. I think Benfica will score, but Liverpool should do enough to get the win here. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 to Liverpool in case it ends 2-1 or in case Liverpool just get an absolutely crazy 3-0. My tip is going to be Liverpool to win and over 2.5 goals at 1.95. The only way I see this tip not coming in is if Liverpool do get a 2-0 win. However, they're going all in on the Champions League, and I do expect Benfica to contribute, because if they don't, they go out with a whimper, and what was it all for if they don't give it their all at home in the first leg? So I think Liverpool are going to win. I think there's going to be a fair few goals. I think pretty much every team is going to score in the first leg of the quarterfinals in the Champions League. I don't think anyone's going to draw a blank. Now, moving on, we do have Manchester City up against Atletico Madrid. And if there was a team that was going to draw a blank, I would probably say it would be Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinal first leg. However, they're looking pretty good. You know, it's all coming together at the right time for them. During the group stages, they managed to get through. At the time, they weren't doing great domestically. They were struggling for results here and there. But now they're really picking up some form. And like I said, it's all coming together at the right sort of time. And now they face Manchester City, who have been known to bottle the quarterfinal of the Champions League. I think the 3 of the last 4 years, well, not last year, but the 3 before that, so still 3 of the last 4 years, they got knocked out in the quarterfinals. And not only that, it was against underwhelming opposition, I guess you could say. Teams that you would not expect Manchester City to be eliminated by. Now, I tweeted a while ago, before the round of 16, that this was the year Manchester City win the Champions League. And I still stand by that. I do think this will be the year that Man City finally win the Champions League. However, I think Atletico Madrid are going to get on the score sheet. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Manchester City, okay? It was between 2-1 and 2-0 for me, and my tip is going to be Man City halftime, Man City full-time at 1.95. City are notoriously fast starters. They score early goals. They rarely concede in the first half. They must have conceded like 3 or 4 goals in the first half in the Premier League for the entire season. But as well as that, Atletico Madrid are sort of late bloomers. They have good second half performances, I think. So I could see Atletico Madrid scoring in the second half as like a little bit of a resurgence, a comeback. I could see it being 2-0 halftime, 2-1 full-time. So my tip is City halftime, full-time at 1.95. If you are confident in the Atletico Madrid goal, both teams to score at 2.1 looks interesting. But I could see this ending 1 or 2-0. And that also lends itself to the halftime, full-time tip. So hopefully it is a win at halftime for Man City, and Atletico Madrid do get on the score sheet. City end up winning. That way, every iteration of my prediction comes true. Let's just go for a 2-0 halftime, 2-1 full-time, something like that for Manchester City. I think this is the year City will have the experience, the know-how to actually progress further than the quarterfinal like they did last year. So I think City should be okay here. But Atletico Madrid have won 5 of their last 6 two-legged ties against English opposition. So that is something to be a little bit wary of. Now, the next one, Chelsea up against Real Madrid. Chelsea, they won a lot of games in a row in the Premier League until their 4-1 loss against Brentford. But they weren't spectacular. They weren't just power driving teams. They weren't destroying teams. You know, the win against Newcastle, it was a late Kai Havertz goal. Real Madrid look really, really good in the Champions League and domestically. I think it was a bit of a perfect storm when they lost against Barcelona 4-0. Just wasn't their day. but I think Real Madrid looked like the real deal, to be honest. So I do think Chelsea are going to really, really struggle to get through this tie. I actually think Real Madrid will qualify, but for this first leg at Stamford Bridge, Brentford just scored 4 there. I don't see why Real Madrid can't score 4. I'm joking. But I do think it's going to end in a draw. And that's not to say Chelsea can't go to the Bernabeu and take something and actually get through. They're definitely capable of that. But for this first leg, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between the two teams. I think it'll be cagey. I think Real Madrid will do what they need to do. I think they were unlucky to lose in the end against PSG in the first leg when Mbappe scored that late goal. I say unlucky in the end because throughout the actual match, they should have lost, but they held on all that way. You'd think they'd be able to hold on to that 0-0, but then they gave it away. They did deserve to lose over the whole thing. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. My tip is Real Madrid double chance at 1.72. Real Madrid outsiders for this first leg. Understandably, I guess. But when you see Chelsea's performance against Brentford, they had rotated in preparation for this game. Chelsea are very capable of beating Real Madrid, but I think I'm just going to side sort of with Real Madrid, but also sit on the fence. Now, the final fixture of the Champions League quarter-final is going to be Villarreal up against Bayern Munich. Villarreal have been struggling a little bit domestically, sitting in about 7th, I think, and Bayern Munich still top of the Bundesliga, watching out for Borussia Dortmund over their shoulder, but thanks to a massive loss to RB Leipzig, they've got a little bit more breathing space. This is the goal for Bayern Munich. It's the Champions League once again, and I think they're going to, obviously over the 2 legs, I do think they'll have enough to beat Villarreal. However, Villarreal is somewhat of a European specialist in Unai Emery, so I think they can get a goal. And Bayern Munich frequently win 3 or 4-1 because they attack so much, they tend to let a goal in. So I think Villarreal will score. I think Bayern Munich will win. In the same way I predicted Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score in the first leg against Salzburg, and I think that should have been the case, even though it ended 1-1. I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Bayern Munich here. My tip is Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score at 3. And I think in the second leg, Bayern Munich could win 4 or 5-0. The floodgates could just open. But I think away from home, Bayern will do just enough, score a couple of goals. I reckon Leroy Sané gets on the score sheet and Bayern Munich take a lead back to Germany. And like I said, my tip is Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score. So that is going to do it for my Champions League quarter-final first leg predictions. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, leave your predictions down in the comments below, and stay tuned because in 2 days we have the Europa League predictions and then soon after the Premier League predictions as well. So that is going to do it from me, and I will see you in the next video very soon.